Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Chat Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name, Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Leo. I'm sorry. Again, it's the transiting moon into Virgo. It's a fifth house event, okay? That much is clear. So correction. Hi, hello, welcome. If you're new, you belong. Welcome home. If you're returning, welcome back. It's a delight and an honor to serve you. Thank you for your continued support. Listen, again, I just want to confirm this gathering today is for the transiting moon into Virgo. During the Taurus season, that's a fifth house event. Okay. So the fifth house is a little bit bright desires, passions, motivations. It's the love we give ourselves and others. It's a generative energy. Okay. It's also where we kind of crystallize and prepare for a life away from the home, away from the family. It might be that we're building our own kind of family as well. And I do believe that we're making changes, probably entering into new environments, surrounding locations, places, and spaces. Okay. Virtuous of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. From Liminal 11, we'll be using This Might Hurt Tarot to impose the guidance. That's by Isabella Rotman. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and get in and fit in and see what we got going on. There might have been a lull in our spiritual gifts, maybe our intuition even, because of something having to deal with like oaths and duties, basically God duties, obligations, what we do in terms of the calling in our life, the sacred mission upon the earth. That and understand that during the Taurus season, anything going on in the sign of Virgo gives us a fifth house event. So this energy going on inside of the fifth house is actually what we call a lunation. So it's the moon. And so when the moon is transiting the fifth house, that only happens for a couple few days every month or so. And that gives us increased intuition and insight into the house according to whatever sign. So increased insight, intuition into our desires, passions, motivations, our generative energy, the things we're creating, the love we're giving ourselves and others. Okay. Also, maybe we're feeling a little more risk taking, or maybe we're taking more risks, or we're feeling a little bit larger or more confident about ourselves. It also is basically where we go to play. And something was sealed or held back or consecrated, and that's kind of coming into fruition, coming into consciousness, if you would. I need just a moment, darling. Grant me a second. I'm hearing Native American chants. Yeah, something's coming into alignment. It's been a long time in coming. We've had to move a lot of things out of the way, get through some things. There's also been either some boundaries and standards, or something was kind of revoked or short-sighted, or basically there was also a covering over our life by the divine. So there might have been some kind of calling on our life that was imposed upon our being, our purpose, our spirit, basically our spiritual self and how it's projected out onto this reality. The third dimension or reality is a construct. So two people can witness the same event and walk away with two completely different experiences. So some of that was happening. There's this energy of some energy is around us wanting to like. Give me a second. I'm gonna move the mic or the camera. Pardon me. We have the King of Swords, Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Wands. So I was picking up on something kind of coming in with an intention to, I wouldn't say block, but it was short-sighted, and it was touching the covering on our life. There's something we've got to give up. Maybe let go. I need to pause for a second, or maybe not. We have the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is a hidden enemy. The Five of Swords is an open enemy. And the Five of Swords has to deal with something out in the open. What does that mean? Um, Basically, there was a tete-a-tete, a battle, even a showdown, a coup, a battle of force of some kind. I have a feeling there was this energy of trying to impose its will, either upon us or upon our path or whatever, what have you. And it didn't really work. The overall energy for this entire gathering today, this entire reading as we're gathered here today, is the King of Swords, Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Wands. So there's four cards here that's going to clarify or modify the entire rest of the reading as the additional cards come out. But we do have the King of Swords, Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Wands. So the King of Swords is about basically judgment. It's multiplied because we have two other sword energies here, but it's basically judgment. The Five of Swords is a short-sighted victory or boundaries and standards. It can be blocking something else. It can be a lose-lose situation. The Seven of Swords is about reeky-deeky, sneaky-tweaky. It's some kind of sideways, seditious, and sneaky. It's basically manipulation or something that's going on in secret, but also in the bride of day. So it's going on right in front of our face, but it's. And then the Ten of Wands is about buckling under the weight of our own karmic cause. It's some type of burden or oppression. So the King of Swords with the Seven of Swords is wanting King Seven of Swords. It's wanting to either move in secret or, yeah, it's an operation. So we're going towards the future too. So in the future, we're going to set something down. We're going to put something to rest. Give me a second. Yeah, so because I'm looking at the direction of movement here. We have the King of Swords. So we might have been mastering some kind of technical skill, basically. And then it's combined here with the Five and the Seven of Swords. So the King of Swords with the Five of Swords is wanting to block, wanting to hold the field, wanting to hold the ground. So we're kind of hanging on to this burden that we have, and it's kind of unnecessary. There's something we need to put down. We might be dealing with a Gemini. It could be a Gemini Sun, King of Swords with the Lovers card. It also could be a Virgo rising, basically Gemini. Midheaven, and then the Virgo card came out. So, yeah, it could also be a Pisces descendant. There's some sleight of hand. I have the feeling like we're going after something. We're trying to build something, maybe that we shouldn't, or as a band-aid to something else. A band-aid could be the Seven of Swords as well. We have the Lovers, Queen of Wands, Hermit, and the Moon card. Now we have the Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Tower. So, I mean, Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Um, so something's going to have a little bit of a collapse with this Ten of Wands and the Tower. Basically, it's PTSD. We're doing something as a band-aid or as a backup or on the side, and it's not really the right thing. It's basically going to stress us out in a way where it's going to implode, and the stressing us out is going to be retroactive. So that's kind of called burnout. There's also some chaos going on. We have a pair of fives here. So with the queen, that's need. So we're needing contestation, some type of. So we need to learn a lesson here with this Five of Wands, Queen of Wands, because basically there's contestation, karma, crossings, conundrums, some type of challenge or even competition here. With the Page of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, we were born with some type of path work already. King of Swords, Seven of Swords, we already know and want the thing that wants us, which is some type of spiritual ranking, some type of teaching or being a teacher, an elder, a guide of some kind. That's taken a little bit of a delay, but the universe is moving things around. I don't know what that looks like, but yeah, there is going to be a collapse here. We have the Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords. So if that's not damnation and purgatory, it's some type of digging a hole and falling into it. Because we also have, like I said, we have the Three of Wands, Hangman, Ace of Cups, Ten of Swords. So there is something here where we're going to take a loss. So we have three fives out. So a pair of fives is chaos. Three fives is anarchy. Something's getting out of hand. With the Strength card, Queen of Wands, and the World card, we need to, Queen, accept some type of defeat or disappointment. Loss is really what it is. Because not only do we need to withdraw our energy, Eight of Pentacles, we need to deal with a minor disappointment. It might be mourning, it might be grief. Give me a moment. That's the cat if you see movement. So I'm just like, this is intricate, but not. I'm getting a feeling that's very clear. I don't understand how the story is going. So let's pull out the wand. Could we have a completion here, world card? But the thing with this world card is it has to deal with some type of achievement. The thing is, I think we were trying to achieve something out in the world. It's the fifth house right now. It's Virgo, which is learning, discerning, becoming detailed oriented, technical, even. So I feel like we were out to learn something or achieve something in the like the material world, but it's actually happening in the spiritual world, and that's the thing that's difficult to accept. Also, with whatever I'm picking up, I'm moving the camera yet again. Also, with whatever I'm picking up, it has to deal with a perspective that we don't have yet. It's a shift in perception. And we have three fives here. So that's telling. It's very illuminating. Because it says like there's anarchy, something's getting way out of hand and it's being given the juice to continue being out of hand. Hmm. Now, I didn't see this, and it might come out in the next round. I heard a narrative. The language was, "I'm always gonna be critiqued by low vibrational people." So, what did that tell me? Because in the clarifiers, when we were getting up here, when I was checking the general energy, what I was getting was this: um, the environment surrounding location might not be conducive for what it is we're trying to do. 'Cause what I'm getting is that there's a calling in our life, and we're not in alignment with that. But it's not really talking about that. But that's what I'm getting. And the Lovers card is here with the Hermit. So we should be diving deep into love, or diving deep into a community, or diving deep into some kind of environment surrounding location. We're definitely dealing with the Sun in Gemini because we have the Lovers with the King of Swords. That's the Sun in Gemini or Gemini midheaven. And then also we have the Ten of Swords. So that is the Sun in Gemini. So what's going on is that there's an achievement here. Something's coming full circle, or something's completing. And it's given us this beloved energy. It may even be Beshert because we have the Lover's card here, but this beloved energy where we have the unconditional love of the divine in our hand, and also we have like an open heart. Essentially, it's going to give us this needing to let something go because of boundaries and standards, and perhaps some kind of inimical energy open, or holding a like some type of ground, like keeping something at bay. There is going to need to be giving something up. The Ten of Wands and the Hangman, each one of those individually mean letting something go. The Ten of Wands, the lesson with the Ten of Wands, and it's not often said, the lesson with the Ten of Wands is one thing needs to be set down. One thing needs to be put down. The lesson with the Ten of Swords is that, yeah, okay, something got to us, a rock bottom is the Ten of Swords, but also it means that there's nowhere up, there's nowhere but up after that. So, but still I rise, Maya Angelou, but still I rise. So the Tower and the Moon card, it means post-traumatic stress. There's something that we're carrying psychically. Perhaps a fear that we worked through because we put energy and effort and attention into it. We took action, but it wasn't aligned properly. Because we have a double five here and then this hangman, which means, okay, we have perception, but we don't have perspective. And when we can see bigger, brighter, and better, or when our view gets ascended, or when we have a bird's eye view of the situation, we probably wouldn't have acted or taken the decisions that we did. That's really what I'm getting here. That as we barrel forward, as we come out to play, as we put the time, energy, effort, and attention into our life, where we take risks, where we give love to ourselves and others, the fifth house, Virgo energy, there might have been some details missing. Because this burden that we're carrying, Ten of Wands, has to deal with some type of ending. The end of attack, the end of magic being put on us, or the end of this stress, this chronic post-traumatic stress that we're carrying. It also could be if there's any types of magic, melancholia, any type of attacks, it would be shattering. Because the Ten of Swords is also breaking of a hex, breaking of a curse, lifting of a spell, or lifting of a curse, breaking of a hex or spell. Something that needs to be almost intervened with. Like we need to take retreat in our godlike self, hangman. Because this, if we're dealing with an enemy, it's a witch, a strength card, Seven of Swords. It's a hidden enemy. And they're right in front of us, Lover's card. We have some type of connection to them. Three of Wands, they continue to come. It's not like a one thing. We'll see them within the next couple of few days. So by the 11th, we should be running into them. What is today's date? The 6th? Hold on. So by the 11th or 12th, we should be running into them again. So maybe we're seeing them every day, maybe we're seeing them on a weekly basis. It says it's already starting. And they're wanting something to happen. They want something to come forward. This is interesting. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Today we'll be deliberating the findings from Liminal 11. Excuse me, Ripe Avocado. That's the Cosmic Coven Tarot Minor Arcana to deliberate any like pairings. That'll be multiples here in the reading. And that's by Lillian Lazenby. I want to check on this 555 here. It can be a sorceress. Some energy wanting to bring chaos into our life, but it actually, we're more adept in this energy as we're initiated into whatever energy is already coming our way. And I don't think we're chaotic. I think we're carrying or shouldering a burden that we don't need to. And we're going to take some decisive action pretty quickly. And this might be an energy that thrives in chaos or conflict. They're trying to create this. But we also have a pair of eights here. Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. So that's to confuse us, to make us leave something behind. Or this energy already on the other side is doing some kind of makeshift ritual with our likeness or our energy. They want to foster some type of, well regarded and esteem that's just shy of the word respect. But or it's really love energy, probably to sweeten the pot, like a honey energy. And it's not actually working, it's backfiring. When I look at this pair of tens, when this comes together, it doesn't come together. Yeah, because they're feeling strong, like they can impose their will, or they're feeling entitled, and that's going to bite them. It's not going to work. What's this pair of kings? We have that's an alliance. King of Pentacles now. King of Pentacles, Page of Cups. So we're committed to love. King of Pentacles, Two of Swords. They're committed to either being of an opposing mind, trying to get us to change our mind, or exercising some kind of judgment or deliberation over us. And plus, also, they're blind. They don't have the whole picture. King of Pentacles, Three of Cups. So our energy is giving to the situation, and there is something that's going to be tried again. I don't feel like it's any gross manipulation, but there is spell work here. Strength card with a pair of eights of spell work. We have a seven of swords here, so that also tells me that there's some kind of manipulation. Queen of Pentacles, there is this energy where somebody is expecting some type of working that they did to work. They have an altar. Oh no, they've just done a spell, and it's word spells. They've been talking about this. Yep. But the thing is, whatever spirit comes from their tongue, we have a connection to that spirit as well. Pair of two. So the spirit is actually informing on them to us. The word for that is Isaiah. Basically, when their words get spoken, it comes across our throne. They're planning on taking some kind of action. I'm not seeing negativity, but I'm seeing something that doesn't fit. And we're carrying on this burden because they've probably been talking about us for a long time. And we're basically all this energy is gone towards us. It could have been for months and months. Now, there is some kind of attraction or love or something of that nature. They want to have a connection to us, but part of this is that they're upset or they're reeling from perceived rejection, or I don't actually know or care. Vortex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. From Los Scarabeo, we'll be using the Vita Sibilla to deliberate any findings for corresponding or correlative energy. That's the daily oracle again by Vita Sibilla. So the King of Swords with the Lover's card, I need to know if this is a Gemini. Yeah, they're going to show out. Some kind of ego is going to come out. Something's going to come out to the open because they're going to act a fool. Some kind of conflict or just ego battle, really. And they want to seem homely and like they're trying to help. But here's the deal with my thing with help. If somebody didn't ask for help, are you really helping? What we think might be help really might be a hindrance because we judge ourselves on our intention. Other people judge us on our impact on our behavior. So there's something here. Yeah, because there is something hidden in plain sight, which is that they want to work on a future with us. And I don't know what this is, what this future holds, because it's talking about our worth and value. It's not talking about what they want from us. It's not even love. They want some kind of cordiality. This might be, I'm feeling a person who can't understand or doesn't like them when people don't like them. But that's the thing in life. You could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and the person you're trying to share your peach with, or the blue ribbon peach pie you're trying to serve somebody, they might be allergic to peaches. You know, You can be all that in a bag of tricks and they might not like tricks. You know, you can be a Lamborghini for free and they might prefer a Maserati, you know. It's not, yes. So I didn't check on these pair of fives. Another five came out. I did check on the pair of fives. I want to do the pair of fives because there's a triple five here. So there's five of cups and five of swords are talking together in unison. Basically, there's an energy here of they desperately want some type of affection or adoration. It's not the whole thing, but like we could be dealing with a Leo sun, we could be dealing with a Gemini sun. To a lesser degree, it can be a Virgo rising or a Scorpio rising. There is some hidden affection, but doesn't need to be sexual because they're going to stop trying eventually. Let's hope so, because something's not clear. You know, if you're approaching somebody without clear needs and intentions, it doesn't really matter. I'll be right back. Yeah, so this is interesting because it's like something got delayed, but only until we gain proper perspective, and then we're going to be let out, let free. What is this Hangman World card? Yeah. So we can sense that yoking ourselves to this person would be yoking ourselves to we are adversarial, oppositional to whatever it is that they want because we're yoking ourselves to a depressive here. We have a five of cups. We need room, space, time, energy, effort, attention away from this energy because we can see something's coming back. It might be continuing to come back. They're harboring a resentment and they have some kind of plan because of that that's already communicated itself to us. There's a specific word spirit that does that. The spirit of words sometimes will deliver itself to the intended target, not because the person spitting those words doesn't know that their prayers and their gossip is going to travel across the wind to the person that they're talking about. It just means that the person they're talking about has a higher spiritual rank. So that's unfortunate. I want to know what this post traumatic stress is about. So we're moving, we have a lot of moves that we're making, and it's just we're busy. And this situation is stagnant, it's stuck, it's not going anywhere. And they might want some congeniality, but we just want some peace and security, peace and quiet. They're not a quiet, you know, there's disquiet around them. They may be a Virgo sun, this energy. I honestly think they're a witch and they are doing some kind of work, but it's not going anywhere. Nine of Swords is backfiring even. Yeah, they want to create some kind of situation where we're friendly, and honestly, we're not. We don't care, and it's not that we can't. We're not called to do that. Ace of Swords, Death card, yeah, the end of communication or a strict sentence. Yeah, they're doing witchcraft, but we're at a high ground. It's backfiring on them, not us. Now, a pair of aces brings in union, like partnership. So, Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. Today, we'll be deliberating the findings for any type of pairing or love energy from Etsy using the Pop of Love Oracle by Violet Tarot. Again, that's over on Etsy. Yeah, Libra. So whatever's going on is fair. They may have some kind of need to be well liked, that's the thing, and they feel hopeless or helpless. But the thing about it is, they not giving us nothing that we could use. I'm just gonna say it like that. They be about all of this and that and then some, but they ain't got it. They ain't got it. They ain't on it. They ain't about it. Okay, that's just what we need. They ain't giving. It's not giving us anything that we could use. It's not giving. It's not giving. And we've been very patient, but it's a no. Because we're out trying to build something and we're actually thinking of quitting it, or we're hitting some type of rock bottom because this. Okay, so I just heard a conversation where it comes to a head. Eventually we end up saying, hey, just back the F up, back off, back off. Because there's an impasse here, and the other side does try to press it. Because behind all of this, what's going on with just us before this little energy, we're working on something and it's not quite the right thing. So we keep alternating between our life path and this thing that we did to either distract us or to give us security. Because there was a moment where we should have chose faith and we didn't. We kind of started working on a backup plan or a fallback plan or a safety net or something. And God was generous enough to grant us this, but we're also starting to ignore either who we are, because the path that we're on has that energy about who we are, or we're forgetting the path that we should be on by doing this other thing. And I think this enemy might be coming from this contingency plan. I didn't want to use that word, but that's what came out. Because the end of whatever quarrels is going to happen, we will get this perspective, period. And this burden is going to be lifted, this iniquity is going to be resolved. But I've seen this happen a lot this week. This other side tried to create some type of repression so that we would have very few options and go towards them, and it's not what happened. The issue is being forced on the other side, and it's really not the way to be. Now we have a double seven, which is an alert of some kind to the fact that we need to defend ourselves against manipulations. Seven of wands, seven of swords. So now the other side, yeah, they really want us to open up towards them. And I honestly do alternate between they're in love with us, which it's not well supported, but that's the energy that I'm getting. They have some kind of flight and fancy. Okay, I can't English. They have some kind of flight and fancy in the future, thinking that we're going to want to choose them for a long-term committed relationship. They might see that they might think that we need some kind of nurturing or petting or hand holding, and that gives them, you know, some fantasy in their mind. Whatever this energy is, I'm disgusted by it. And I did see that in the narrative when we actually do end up saying, hey, back off, and they say their little piece. And we're like, it's not that, it's that I don't like you, trust you, feel safe around you, or even respect you. And honestly, whatever, what have you, I'm disgusted. So on and so forth. And that kind of it startles them so much so where they have to open their mind up to other things. Because the one thing that we can play to our advantage, and this is to have to play the game of the enemy, that's when it gets like, let me walk away. Because you're not going to get me off my throne. You're not going to make me have my crown crooked acting a fool with you. But the thing that does kind of get to them, unfortunately, is playing the game, is like when they have to consider, is there something that I don't know that everybody else is clear of? Because they're going to bring this into the public eye, maybe whatever. It's not the public, like across the world or the news or the headlines. It's more like we're in some type of group, or there's a communal aspect to wherever we gather. So we have uh, this energy gets like suspended, Three of Swords, Eight of Wands. And then also there's a backfire of a spell, Eight of Cups. They want to make us forget something, or you know, leave something, or so okay, I'm just gonna say, if we're angry, they want to make us forget why we were angry, but it's a standards thing, so we don't forget our standards. That means it's an eraser if we forget our standards. Like if we're driving in a car to work every day and all of a sudden we're on the bus, we're never going to forget that we prefer to drive. Or if we're allergic to watermelon and all of a sudden somebody's trying to give us a watermelon for lunch every day, we're never going to forget. Do you understand? It's a baseline standard that we're coming from. And this person thinks it's like a personality or something of that nature. And again, behind all of this is we're supposed to be on a path towards the calling on our life. And this energy is a distraction. And because we're allowing distraction or bifurcation, like being of two minds, whatever spirit rules that is manifesting through this person. It's really the enemy getting to us through this person that we still don't know all of the everything behind why ever there's an issue. Now we know that there's an issue with this person. We know that they are an issue, but we don't actually know the purpose that they're serving. Okay, they're going to have to choke back some heartache and heartbreak. They're going to have to get popped in the mouth and told what's up. And they're not going to be us physically popping them in the mouth, but we're going to say something that's going to snatch the stupid off of them. Excuse my language. Um, yeah, because they have some rude awakening on the way. They want to be in this community with us, Ten of Cups. They belong to our community. They're going to have to recognize a couple few things. We may be dealing with the Taurus moon, to a lesser degree, Aquarius rising. And that's what I got. So listen, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. This was a reading about the path that we should be on, had a detour. And in allowing this detour into our life and servicing this detour, it allowed the spirit that rules the deficiency that's going on in our lives to manifest in the form of a person. Now something's trying to switch or swap or attend to the lack of needs getting met. So we're about to come into everything that we ever hoped, wished, and prayed for, and then some. The eternal kingdom is calling us back, and essentially not just the calling on our life, not just our spiritual inheritance, but our celestial endowment is coming. Something's watching, not sensing or seeing why or how or la di da or yada yada, and they're feeling left out, and they want to take action to have some type of part or role in our life. And honestly, we're not having it. We're repelled. And it's not that we have some gross feeling, but it's not hitting right. It's not hitting right. So that's what I see here. Just a quick prayer for all of us still lost of their delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, get to heal, yet to awaken, and to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love and universal oneness. Upon we love you, we're sorry, please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May we be well, may we be happy, may we be whole, may we be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Take good care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.